Hey, this is Roberto again with One Orange County SEO Expert. And in this video, we're going to talk about the very little on-page optimizations we've done to Jack's website to help it already get a boost in impressions in less than 1 month. Check it out. All right, so here we are back in Jack's Google My Business. And so the very little things that we're going to worry about, there's just a few spots here that you need to worry about. You got to understand on a meta principle, on a meta level, that Google is an algorithm. It's not a man or a woman like you and I. It cannot think. It does not have that luxury or privilege, I suppose. So what we have to do as optimizers of websites and of digital assets is put relevant information in relevant spots. So places like, I know it sounds obvious, but places like your business name, places like your service areas, why it matters that you really take heed to put this stuff in there is because to you it might be obvious, but to a computer algorithm, nothing is obvious until it's explicitly stated, right? So J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating, if Google only had two options to serve to a customer, okay, based off of these two bits of information I'm going to give you, what do you think an algorithm that bases its determinations on contextual elements and data that it already has, of which of these two do you think Google would serve to a person searching for plumbing in Hamilton Township? If my business name here was J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating, or if my business was Hamilton Plumbing. Well, right off the bat, without knowing anything else, if all things were equal, the business that's called Hamilton Plumbing is going to get more relevance in the eyes of Google for the term Hamilton Plumber because it's got two big factors of association. It's words Hamilton and plumber and plumbing, which are variations of the same word. And Google is looking at that and saying, these two things match. Let's serve that business's name to this searcher's request. In the same way, you want to plug in your business's names and services and keywords, the biggest, the most profitable ones, or the ones that are most profitable in your eyes. You want to give that type of information to Google. So we're J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating. He operates in Mercer County. And if he were to have multiple locations around the state, it would be beneficial to get into here and start to be pedantic about each location itself. For instance, if this was the Mercer County, we could do Mercer County or of Mercer County. Of Mercer County. It's got your business name, and we're just delineating it for customers and for Google of where this business is. So if he did have another business in, let's say, Union County or another county in the same state, we would have another listing. We would have another listing that we would create. We would also make sure that there's an address in Union so that it's a legitimate business in Union. And then we would just say of Union. So you would have of Union Township, I suppose, of Union, let's say, for the sake of this video, of Union, New Jersey. So now we just modified the title of this business name with a location modifier, which is so powerful in putting your brand in front of the people where they're searching. All right, so J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating. So you can just put that there. Very little work. We could add company or something. And what I mean by we can add company or services or something like that is we're just adding a keyword that somebody might be searching for. So if I were to go over here to Google and look up plumbing company, Hamilton, New Jersey. Well, each one of those terms is important. Right now we see that there's 10,600,000 results. Let's actually do exact match. If we exact match it, there's 9 companies, there's 9 businesses out there that have exactly plumbing company, Hamilton, New Jersey, in their titles. See, plumbing and heating, Hamilton, New Jersey, plumbing and company, Hamilton, New Jersey. But if I just got rid of company and I looked up Hamilton, New Jersey, well, now we have 944 results. So that adding company was a difference because there are people out there looking for a plumbing company. and there are people out there looking for plumbing in Hamilton, New Jersey. So you could knock out two birds with one stone by getting in that word company here, and all of a sudden you're expanding your net of capturing leads. Now, this is a very 10,000 foot view of SEO, but basically it's putting the right terms in the right places so that Google's algorithm, which is just a computer, can take that data and associate it properly with other data on the internet. And they do that just by like literally words in places. So words in your titles, words in your descriptions, the meta tags of your photos, the meta tags of your actual web, like your meta description, how you show up on Google. These are all places that are very important to take advantage of what you do and who you do it for, so that Google can properly categorize your website for its customers. So you want to take your time as a business owner and really flush out your entire Google My Business. It's such an important aspect of SEO because it's coming from such an authoritative site such as Google. Google is already a powerhouse, and you're building your business on top of it. So not only are you getting the authority behind Google added to your business, but on top of that, you have the ability to get in here and nitpick specific areas that you can add certain terms, certain words. Like you have down here, you can add all your services, right? And you make sure you add them all, because this is where Google is going to be pulling from when people are searching for different things related to plumbing, right? Okay, so that's just one of the on-page of his Google My Business. If I go to his photos, what you also want to do is optimize your photos. So what we did here is we have his logo. Jack really doesn't have a logo. It's basically his business's name. But what you want to do is you want to optimize image files before you upload them to your website or your Google My Business. And it's just another way of telling a computer algorithm what your site is about, and another way of getting traffic to your site. So remember, it's a word and an algorithm game, right? So the algorithm is looking at this word that you typed in and going through its index of every web page it's crawled, pulling back the most relevant pages for this term. So with that being said, if your images are something like, image dat90, you've seen images like this. This is the name of plenty of images on plenty of websites out there, right? But that's not helpful. Is this image data image name, does that actually represent what this image is? No. So you want to explicitly tell Google what the file name is. So as a matter of fact, if I actually go to Jack's thing here, this is just the way I organize my clients is I have everything kind of canonically related, like siloed out. So I have Jack Warwick Plumbing and Heating, JW Warwick Plumbing and Heating folder on my own local computer. And then I have images. So like right here, this image, JW Warwick Plumbing and Heating logo, this is his logo image. That's the name of the image. And before that, it was not this. It was something more tantamount to what I was just showing you, like this image -999. That's irrelevant. You want to make your entire website experience for Google's bots when they crawl them, you want to make it, every information that they take, you want it to be related to your business in some way. So we make it so that it says Jack, that it's his business's name and it's his logo, because that's what the photo is. So just little things like that are going to help associate good consistency and relevance of what your business is to Google. So you're a plumber, everything on that site should be related to plumbing. And if it's not, you should let the Google algorithm know. So yeah, definitely optimize your images. So if we go over on now to his website, I want to actually show you what it would look like before. This is called the Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine is a website that can bring back historical evidence or historical views of web pages from their inception. So there's a whole multitude of utilities for why you would want to do this, but it'll show you what this website looked like from its inception and then moving on, right? So this is just a screenshot taken from June 21st of 2018. And this is basically what Jack's website looked like when I got it. And for the most part, it looks the same. I'm not a web design company, and that's something I certainly can help consult him on. However, as an SEO, there were things that were just kind of glaring. Like, for instance, this right here, this call us is a heading 1. It's an H1 tag. So that's a pretty big deal with SEO. H1 tags, title tags, and descriptions are very important to the Google algorithm in ascertaining what your site is about. So he's a plumber, but he's basically telling Google that he is call us 609-890-0077. And I know that sentence sounded kind of dumb and a little stupid, and it is. But that's how you got to treat the Google algorithm, right? And as you walk down this site, scroll down this site, he's got nice bullet points. However, these are all just paragraphed. They're not tagged in anything. That doesn't mean anything to you, but when I show you what I did to the website, it'll make a little bit more sense to you. So conversion optimization factors on this website as well. You can't click this phone number. It's big, it's red, it's bold, but you can't click it. And if I was on mobile, I couldn't click it if I wanted to call. There's not an email opt-in for following up. Content and images are not optimized to, they're just kind of like the generic whatever, the ping.8895, whatever, fill in the numeric alphanumeric code as to what this file is. It's not specific to Jack's plumbing business, although this should be, right? Because this is Jack and that's his plumbing business. This should be like, Jack and his work truck, That way, when people are looking up Jack stuff, these images can help pull in some traffic, right? If they're optimized properly. And then if we go on to the bottom, he's got his stuff. The only one thing he did have hyperlinked to click was his Google reviews, which is pretty good. It could be more optimized in terms of where it could be placed for conversion. And then again, you have unclickable office, cell, and email. All unclickable contact us things. So really for conversion, not so good. For SEO, not the best. And with that, he wasn't being shown so much for... This website is not very well SEO'd, not very well optimized, and Jack knew that. So that's why it kind of came to me. So that's what his website looked like, and here's what it looks like now. Slightly different, but a lot more optimized. So what we changed up here, this is basically his site's title and tag. So this said J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating. Just ask for Jack, Hamilton, Trenton, Mercer County, and surrounding areas. This is what actually becomes what's called your site title, and it's what comes up here on these little tabs at the very top. So if you see, it says J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating, just ask for Jack. That's pulling from this site title. Now, it's very important that this site title has relevant information for prospects that don't already know you, right? So if you're trying to SEO a site, you want to do your best to throw out a net to get traffic from people who don't already know you. This is not referral marketing. We're trying to get traffic from people who don't already know you for services that you provide. So right here, he was optimized for his brand name, and maybe you could say his name, and perhaps you could say the town and the county. However, Warwick and Plumbing and Heating, just ask for Jack, Hamilton, Trenton, Mercer County, and surrounding areas is not the most optimized for what Jack is going for. He wants to be known as a Hamilton plumber. And in these places, like your title, you've really got to be explicit and telling exactly what it is that you want to go for. So we switched that over to J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating. And then, and we do this in the back office of, he uses WordPress, so I can't show you this now. We'd have to go into his site. But the title is different. We added the word company to the title because people are invariably searching for plumbing companies. We added Hamilton, New Jersey plumber. We had, I believe it's heating services. As a matter of fact, if you look at the page source, let's do that. So if I go to title, yep, here it is. So this right here, this is the title, the new title, which is, so J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating Company, Hamilton, New Jersey plumber and heating services. So we cover a multitude of keywords that potential prospects are using. Hamilton plumber, Hamilton plumbing, because we take care of plumbing here, Hamilton heating, Hamilton Heating Company, Hamilton Plumbing Company, Hamilton Heating Services, Hamilton Plumber Services, Hamilton Plumbing Services, Hamilton Heater Services. Okay, so a lot of variations are taken care of with this title for searches. So that's already optimizing his website a little bit more. We then further went on to take care of his H1 tag. So if we go over here and we look at H1, we'll just H1. Go to header 1. Let's see where that is. All right, H1, emergency plumber repairs, heating services company, Mercer County, New Jersey, Hamilton, New Jersey. So I'm sorry, I'm going to highlight this. Jeez, oh man. Let me highlight this. So this now is the title, or excuse me, the H1 tag, the header tag. So I'm going to copy this, and for the sake of comparison, I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to do H1. We'll do title. So let's get the title of the site. Copy it. Paste it here. We'll just bold this. We'll bold that. And now we'll go low, and I'll do again title. H1. Bold both of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a comparison from the original title. So this original title was J.W. Warwick. Let me pause this for you guys. All right, we are back. Sorry about that. I wanted to save you some time. So what I did was I copied and pasted the original title and H1 tag to the new title and H1 tag. So the original one, and I want you to determine, tell me if you were a computer who only relied on data, which sounds more relevant as a company, a plumbing company servicing New Jersey. And nothing else. No more, no less. Okay, so that's an important factor, right? So the first, we got J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating. Just ask for Jack, Hamilton, Trenton, / Mercer County and surrounding areas. And his H1 tag is call us 609-890-0077. And his new title and new H1, J.W. Warwick Plumbing. So get rid of the ampersand there. J.W. Warwick Plumbing and Heating Company, Hamilton, New Jersey, plumber and heating services. So far, just looking at the title itself compared, right? This title takes care of services, company, heating, Hamilton, plumbing, plumber, plumbing services, heating services, plumbing company, heating company, Hamilton, New Jersey plumbing company, Hamilton, New Jersey heating company. And it takes care of all of those variations. However, here in the first one, we have plumbing and heating. We have a name for Jack, and we have just areas. The area doesn't necessarily, there's no NJ modifier here. Like Hamilton, for instance, has a tendency to err towards Hamilton, Ontario, believe it or not. So, and again, no NJ relevance here in the call. So again, your H1 tag, these are the only bits of data that Google has to kind of strengthen the relevance of what your site is even about, like kind of categorize it. So if I had these two, right? And the H1 for the new site is emergency plumbing repairs. Get rid of this. Emergency plumbing repairs and heating services company, Mercer County, New Jersey, Hamilton, New Jersey. Much more succinct, much more specific as to who I'm dealing with, what I deal with, and how I service them. This bit of information is better than this bit of information in terms of telling Google what you're about. And so we switched that up. So this is the old website, okay? And again, this is the newer website. And so we can click to call. I made all of these. Okay, so here's the H1 tag that we talked about. Now we got a click to call where we didn't before. We've done some bolding, which definitely helps. Helps from a conversion standpoint, from a reading standpoint, helps the algorithm itself categorize and index your site for what it's actually about. Our plumbing and heating services, I made this. I forgot what tag this is. Let me actually. So the way you use tags, right? Those H tags, they go all the way down to they start from H1 and it goes to, I believe, H6 and beyond. So if I search for this, you know what? Let's do H1 again. So it's right here. So if I do now let's do H3 or H2. Yeah, so our second heading, and you got to look at this in terms of connecting dots for an algorithm. So the algorithm reads your site's title as kind of your domain name and the title are like the most important, right? And then it goes to your tags, your description and your tags, starting with H1 and moving down. So our H1 tag, our top title tag, is these things. These are services we want to rank for: emergency plumber repairs and heating services company in Mercer County, New Jersey, and Hamilton, New Jersey. Okay, those are the things we want to rank for. So now our next subheading, our H2 tag, is going to be a sub of the sub of this. So we're talking emergency plumbing repairs and heating services company, Mercer County, New Jersey, Hamilton, New Jersey, H1. Our H2 is going to go into our plumbing and heating services. So it's kind of like one step in. And then even further, I believe if I do H3, our H3 tags are now all of our services that we provide. So in a very ordered canonical way, like see how this right here is what an algorithm is reading. It's reading like, okay, this heading tag, this page is about residential commercial plumbing. It's also about new construction and kitchen plumbing and repairs and inspections and venerations and violations. If it was just inside of your paragraph stuff, it wouldn't be as significant to you. So we're really helping order your website in the way that it's most most ordered for the robot that is Google to come and categorize your site for your customers. So after everything said all that, optimizing some of the things, again, more bolds here, really showing that we've been around for a while, over 26 years, 41 years of experience. This is all conversion factors. This website can do a lot better with conversion, but again, this is just less than a month of work. Hyperlinks to everything you can click: email, website, Google reviews, and we've added a map of Mercer County. What does that do? That just increases the relevance of the location and the strength as a signal as to who this business is. Because Google's like, hey, listen, they got a map of Mercer County. They're telling us they're from Mercer County, and it makes sense that we should show this business to people in Mercer County. All right. Now, what did that do for the performance of the website? Well, as far as the impressions, again, I've done a month. I did it where we started to where we are now. So he called me on the 9th and left the message. It is now the 30th, and here we are. So the impressions of his website, by doing nothing else but by organizing it properly, is increasing his impressions of his website. Which an impression, if you read here, it's the amounts of times a user saw your link in a search result. Okay, so that's traffic coming to your website in one way or another. Now, the only reason I'm highlighting this and not clicks or average position is because the clicks is going to be a conversion element, and we haven't really worked on conversion so explicitly much, other than the little things I've done on like his website for clicking and stuff like that. But he could do a lot better with like an email opt-in, or even have a funnel, like an email opt-in to a funnel where you can kind of reach out to your prospects or your clients on a weekly basis, or offer details. But again, we're not worried about that. We're worried about right now traffic, SEO, traffic. And so if we go back to the performance, you can see how we went from 32 impressions on September 9th to a high of 114 impressions. That's like 4x the impressions about a day ago in a span of less than a month. So this is without doing any explicit off page. I'm going to come down here and share this. I want to be clear that we've done no link building. I've done no link building, and links are the name of the game when it comes to SEO. So I've done no link building. There's been no off-page SEO, and there's been no social profiling. We've done just foundational things at this point. Very, very little things. And as you see, things are moving. Things are moving in the search engines. And that's the key with SEO is when you have the full concept of how SEO works, you no longer are impatient as to when results will come because you know they will come. It takes time because SEO is among the most honest signals of legitimacy you can have as a business. It shows that you're caring for your digital assets in a way that other businesses aren't. And Google doesn't just immediately reward you to the top of the first page with SEO, which is why SEO is so important. If you are one of the first 3 businesses in the maps and in the blue links, and you haven't paid for an ad there, that's such a powerful, honest signal to a customer at the other end that says, hey, this is the business I need to pick because Google says it is. And so that's why SEO works. And me and Jack plan on moving forward with this website. But like I said, it took us less than a month's time to get a hold of his Google My Business, get it back into his possession, optimize the Google My Business, do a little bit of on-page optimization on his website, and just like that, his impressions on his website 4x'd in less than a month. If this is something that you might be interested in for your business, if this is something that you would like to look into and even just kind of powwow back and forth with me, I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you about this. My name is Roberto, and I can't wait to hear from you and maybe help you with the same issue that Jack had and grow your business in the way that I know how, and that's through SEO. I hope you have a good day. It is Sunday. I'm going to go enjoy some football. So take care. Go Pack. Go.